6. There are 171 days left in the year. Good morning, MB. Guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose. Live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter. And the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We will get back together after a week away celebrating independence and so. And we will also set off a big week in our community with the championship coming up this weekend. Two truths and a lie and much more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Welcome back.
You too.
Been away for a few days. I'm sure we'll get caught up on our travels and our adventures. Any big sales going on with Vandalay Industries this week that not sure?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure.
I read where grills are a great thing to buy right now because they continue to be discounted because after you get past the 4th of July, people are like, I'm not buying a new grill this year. I'll wait until next year.
Well, that makes sense. I don't have any grills.
No grills for sale? All right.
There's
You got
some
plenty of other
coolers
stuff.
there.
Some coolers. All right. He's the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio News Hawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley in the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. How are you?
I'm all right. Trying to get back into a routine today. Got a lot of muscle memory going on. It's like, okay, how do we, what happens in what order, etc. Were you able to do anything with your break? Were you able to do anything fun?
Trying to get caught up on a lot of things.
Get caught up, huh? Just housekeeping things.
Yep. Just a lot of things that had kind of get pushed to the wayside. Get caught up on some of those things over the last week or so.
I understand. Your hat that you have on today, I can't see the full logo on it. What is your?
It's a Japanese baseball team.
A Japanese baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The Tigers.
The Tigers. And what city do the Tigers represent?
Japan. I don't remember off the top of my head. Hinshan or something. Hinshan or something. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So that's pretty neat. My dad at one point in time made it his mission. He wanted to collect all the minor league baseball team caps. So and there are a lot of those because of the various levels, but you've gone the international route. I like it.
Yeah, I've had this one for a while. My little brother went there. He had a friend who moved there, back when I was in school, and he went and visited him one summer, and this is what he brought back.
Are they also in their All-Star break in the Japanese league? Do you know?
I have no earthly idea at all.
Summer heat returning this week. It's been a little bit mild for the last few days, but it will be, highs near 90 today. We're going to get, I think, between 85 and 90 here between the lakes. May tick 90 degrees in some regions. Isolated storms are possible this afternoon. Not as wet this week, but some daily pop-up downpours are possible. And those chances will linger. And several days with highs near 90 are on the way for this week and even into the 90s. We'll see mostly sunny and a high of 90 today, we'll call it. Mostly clear, 70, the overnight low tonight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 90. And then 91 for Wednesday, 92 for Thursday, 93 for Friday. And then looks pretty good. Going to be hot for Saturday for the Twin Lakes National Fiddlers Championship, which will be coming to Litchfield. And we will talk more about that as the week goes along. And we'll be talking about it during Two Truths and a Lie today. So I got that to look forward to. Some deadly flooding out in Missouri. And then in the southeast along the Gulf Coast, they're also dealing with some weather from the weekend, and we're no stranger to that. A couple of weeks ago we had flooding again, but weather continues to be a noteworthy event at various portions of the country. Also, I want to tell you a reminder this morning, probably will be happening while most of us sleep, and you may not notice much is going on, but road work is going to be performed on the square in Litchfield. Today and tomorrow, the city is reporting that crews will be milling out the corners, which is the taking the top layer of asphalt on the square tonight and tomorrow night, and probably not much disruption. If you go through there, you'll see a change in the surface, but trying to get that work done ahead of the weekend and get all gussied up for the visitors that are going to be in town. Nationally, perhaps one of the biggest surprise news stories is the passing of South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, who I guess the extremely odd part of that is we have another story about a senator who's in poor health and recovery and has made a statement, and then you've got some other members of the Senate who have well, they're just a little long in the tooth, and you think, okay, well, time for probably a changing of the chapter, a changing of the guard, if you will. And then someone who is seemingly young or younger, like Lindsey Graham, suddenly dies, and they're saying it's likely as a result of a torn aorta, according to the medical examiner. But they said that he had just returned from Ukraine a few days ago, and he had just turned 71 a couple of days before he passed on Saturday. So that took Washington and the country by surprise. And so you've got August 11th, I think, is when the election opens in South Carolina anyway. And so they have to figure out what they're going to do with the interim period of time, and then the numbers in the Senate, et cetera, especially considering the absence and what continues to be, looks like an absence of Senator McConnell. But he did issue a statement, or at least the office issued a statement over the yesterday, which I was able to read and then see a story today. It said that he had been working closely with legislative staff on current issues. He says, when you elected me to serve a seventh term and made me our Commonwealth's longest serving senator, you did so trusting that I'd keep showing up to you, up to fight for you every day. He said that he had suffered over the past several weeks. They have appreciated the well wishes, et cetera, that they had received, but said that he was taken to a hospital June 14th after being briefly unconscious. He said, my doctors have confirmed that I didn't break any bones or suffer a concussion. I didn't have a heart attack or a stroke. I don't have any tumors or hemorrhages. While receiving excellent care over the past several weeks, I've also had to deal with a mild case of pneumonia. So that's the official statement and the details after being quiet. And then he did kind of explain that it was, of his generation, they don't often show the vulnerability that comes with growing older. And I sort of understand that. He'd been a fighter for a long time, but his body's just breaking down. He's served for a long time and clearly isn't running for re-election again. He's just trying to get across the finish line to the end of the year. Also, internationally and nationally, the United States has struck Iran over the latest ship attack in Tehran, and then Iran responded by hitting some of our allies in the Gulf, and so the back and forth continues between all the parties involved related to the Strait of Hormuz and it being open, etc. So anyway, those are the national and international headlines, if you will. A suspect has been arrested in an outbreak of copper thefts here in Grayson County that caused a widespread outage of internet service. 51-year-old Jody Grant of Litchfield was arrested by the sheriff's office on the 6th of July and charged with interfering with communications, theft by unlawful taking, and first-degree criminal mischief. The sheriff's office said additional arrests are anticipated, and the investigation showed that Grant sold copper scrap several times between May 2nd and June 15, and the listed transactions totaled over 1,300 pounds of copper-related scrap for a total payout of about $6,000. And the sheriff's office says that under questioning, Grant admitted to being involved with at least one other person in at least 5 incidents where communication wire was cut. So they've been working with Kinetic and all the people involved there to try and solve that case. So as you heard, that other arrests are likely. A Litchfield man ingested 2 grams of methamphetamine prior to police seizing 6 grams of the drug following a traffic stop on Annetta Road. The Greater Hardin County Narcotics Task Force, about 10:15 Wednesday, conducted a traffic stop on an 05 Lincoln Town Car in the parking lot of the Dollar General on Annetta Road. The driver, a 44-year-old Charles Clemens, was detained and found to be in possession of a baggie of methamphetamine and marijuana. The task force obtained a search warrant for Clemens' property in the 4500 block of Bloomington Road, where they located, according to the citation, scales, baggies, along with other items consistent with trafficking in narcotics. He was following medical clearance. He was lodged in the Grayson County Detention Center and charged on a long list of charges. The Office of State Budget Director reported Friday that the general fund receipts for fiscal year 26 totaled about $16 billion, which is a 1% increase over the prior fiscal year. The Office of Revenue, official revenue estimate issued in December called for a $156 million revenue shortfall for the fiscal year that ended June 30. Instead, revenues came in $320 million more than originally budgeted and exceeded the December 2025 estimate by $476 million. The John Hicks, the director, said general fund growth of 6.2% in June capped off a strong fourth quarter, and receipts had climbed 7.2%. The Major League Baseball draft, which is one of the, I don't know if you would call it overly complex, but it is overly lengthy with the various rounds that they have, was conducted. And the Colorado Rockies took Kentucky shortstop Tyler Bell. They chose him as the 10th overall pick in the Major League Baseball draft on Saturday. He became Kentucky's second highest pick ever selected in the yearly draft. Andy Green, who is currently the manager for the New York Mets, was selected number 8th by Milwaukee in 1996 from Kentucky. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays selected Bell as their 66th pick after he graduated from high school in Illinois, but he decided to go to college, and he improved his stock. He's expected to earn about $7 million at this draft level compared to the 1.2 that he would have gotten about 4 years ago. So he bet on himself, and it paid off for him. Also Saturday, Kentucky pitcher Jackson Jelkin was taken in the 4th round as the 135th pick by the Philadelphia Phillies. Under Nick Mingione now, Kentucky has had 12 players drafted in the first 4 rounds in the last 9 years that Nick has been the coach at Kentucky, which seemed like almost a decade now. It doesn't seem like it's been that long. Louisville outfielder got drafted as well. Zion Rose was drafted by the Royals was taken number 6 by the Kansas City Royals. And then if you're tracking like what the Reds did, the Reds drafted a shortstop from Alabama, the 18th overall pick, Justin LeBron. The Reds also took a Virginia third baseman, Eric Becker. They took a first baseman from UCLA, a pitcher from Nebraska, and an East Carolina pitcher as well, what the Reds took in the draft over the weekend. The Reds, they lose to the Cubs yesterday before the break? What did they do the previous 2 games against the Cubs?
They lost 2 out of 3.
Well, that's 2 out of 3. The Yankees had to come back finally won a series and swept the Nationals, but had to come from behind in all 3 of those games. Their June was absolutely awful, and maybe they'll be able to get it on track. The World Cup is continuing, and down to the cream of the crop, if you will. Argentina took a 112th minute goal to help lift Argentina past Switzerland into the World Cup semifinals. And then that went in, I think, after they also scored on a corner kick from Messi. And then England advanced over Norway 2-1 into the World Cup semifinals, and the finals were coming up, I think, this next weekend. And so I think there's a big matchup today that Yamin Lamel or whatever is going to be in action. It's tomorrow when it takes place. Mm-hmm. So we're getting down to the final few matches. And then saw where the Wimbledon got wrapped up over the weekend, both the women's and men's final. You saw Yannick Sinner beat Alexander Zverev to win Wimbledon again. He's joined some elite company by winning 5 Grand Slam titles by the age of 25. Not many people have done that. Linda Noskova beat Carolina Makova in an all-Czech women's final on Saturday for her first Grand Slam title. It's kind of funny. Other than playing on grass. And then, I mentioned to you that the Reds, they will start the second half on Friday at Colorado. Home Run Derby is tonight in Philadelphia. We'll talk about that on your television schedule coming up. And then Ryan Blaney won a 3-wide battle on the final lap of overtime in the NASCAR Cup race at Atlanta over the weekend. And they will be heading to North Wilkesboro, North Carolina next weekend. You might remember last year they had the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro last year, and now a regular Cup race will be coming to that speedway coming up this weekend. So there you go. There are your headlines for the week. And as we get to break, got some sounds of the 2025 Twin Lakes National Fiddler Championship, trying to get you all primed up for the weekend ahead. We'll get to a break. We'll come back. Plenty more on the way here on In the Know.
For the second year in a row, Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center is one of America's top 100 rural hospitals. But in Grayson County, that's not really a surprise. Because in small towns, we share everything. The hospital where we were born, where we bring our families, just keeps proving what we already knew. Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center, top 100 care. Hometown heart.
Looking for a place to connect and make a difference? At the Moose Lodge, you'll be stepping into a place where children find hope and seniors find care. Experience the fun of gaming and drinks while socializing with other members in our licensed lounge. We are inviting qualified guests to visit and consider membership. Be part of something meaningful. The Grayson County Moose Lodge is at 289 Alex Drive in Falls of Rough, where community meets connection. Stop by or follow us on Facebook for more information.
Quality paves the way. That's the motto of Scotty's Contracting in Stone. All of the crushed stone products from Scotty's quarry in Litchfield are mined underground. Scotty's Contracting and Paving provides cleaner products made from pure limestone. If you agree that quality makes the difference, contact the team at Scotty's Contracting in Stone for crushed stone products for your project at 259-5696. That's 259-5696. Our quarry is located on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Free parking? Yeah, right.
Dad, I got a drink.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What?
Sunscreen's free too.
Yeah, right.
This was the best day ever.
Yeah, you're right.
At Holiday World and Splash and Safari, sure, there are a lot of free things. And somehow, that's not even the best part. See it for yourself at holidayworld.com.
Music plus tradition plus excitement plus family plus fun equals the 15th annual Twin Lakes National Fiddler Championship, with events like the Rod Run, Cruise In, and fireworks at dusk on Friday, and Saturday's antique car, truck, rod, tractor, and bike show. Enjoy free children's activities and the competition starting at 9, with Matt Flake and friends in concert to follow. You don't want to miss this show. See the full schedule at twinlakesfiddler.com. The fiddling capital of Kentucky comes to life this weekend.
There are buttons to button, snacks to prepare, math problems to help with, and boo-boos to kiss. If you have people who need you, you need life insurance. Talk to a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent about a policy that protects the ones you love. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment. The amount of life insurance coverage that you may qualify for or apply for is subject to medical and financial underwriting by Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company in Jackson, Mississippi.
Google's deepfake detection system has succeeded in spotting a phony picture of Senator Mitch McConnell. The Republican has been in ill health, and a fake photo popped up showing him covered in medical equipment. Fact-checkers who examined the picture spotted a watermark from Google's Synth ID. OpenAI is releasing more conversational models. The company claims GPT Live 1 and GPT Live 1 Mini sound more natural. OpenAI says they can also speak and listen at the same time. Robo-taxi companies are getting a new warning from the federal government. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the companies need to make sure that robo-taxis do not block first responders. The government says companies need to make that change this month. And Meta plans to start building data centers in Canada. The company announced on Wednesday it plans to break ground on its first facility north of the border in Alberta. The 1 gigawatt center is Meta's 33rd in its AI build-out plan. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Songs from the good old
Today is French Fries Day. It's also Beans and Franks Day. I can't help but think about There's Something About Mary, the movie, when you hear Franks and Beans. It's Embrace Your Geekness Day today. Great day to be a geek or to know one. And it is also Barbershop Music Appreciation Day. I know Miss Buckles has some of the greatest appreciation for barbershop music, barbershop quartet.
Listen, already this morning, I've had so many thoughts this morning.
Yes?
That I am so glad there is not a thought bubble above my head.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna sit over here and eat my banana.
You're having your breakfast, I see. So that's good. Yeah, Barbershop Music Appreciation Day today. Missed the Main Street Barbershop Quartet when we were at Disney World.
We did.
But that's okay. We'll catch them next time. Hey, we talked about the World Cup wrapping up. I guess this weekend will be the final. And this was amused me a little bit because they completely couldn't. 28% of Americans think they could beat a World Cup goalkeeper. And I must admit that it sometimes is made to look easy, but you've got the best goalkeepers in the world and then the best players in the world. And a lot of it's anticipation, and especially when it comes to PKs, they line up and then there's just a whole lot of anticipation on which way they're going to go, and they're faking out and their body language, etc. But Sam, 28% of people could not defeat a World Cup goalkeeper, could they?
In a PK, I mean, probably not that high, but I don't think it would be as low as some people would think, just because there is so much. I mean, you can get lucky.
Yeah, there's some luck involved.
Because, I mean, if he dives left and I kick it even slow to the right, more than likely it's going to roll in. But most people wouldn't have enough power to get it in.
Well, first you have to make it. Like, you have to get it inside the frame. So it's not just about how hard you kick it. It's more about where and the speed. I'd kick it at a speed where he could probably fall one way and still crawl back and get to the other side. What would your strategy be? Would you go up there and do like a stutter step? Get up to it and then stop and try to get him to fake you out or fake him out?
I would have no idea what I would do. Not a clue.
When I was trying to think whether I would give it the old, I'm going to make you think I'm kicking it one way, and then. But do you think that they do data metrics on other players to know what their tendencies are?
Oh, they 100% do. No, because during one of the World Cup matches that went into PKs, you saw them, they brought out the iPad or whatever the tablet was, and they were looking at, okay, this guy, and even Fox had the graphic of every PK they've taken, and it had where they all landed and so on, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. And so then it comes down to like some strategy. So if my tendency is to do this, then do I do the opposite? Or then do they think I'm going to do the opposite? So I just stick, it's like, okay, well, how's this going to go? Now, with the departure of the United States from the World Cup a week ago tonight, you might imagine that the prices for the World Cup final are coming down, but they're still not. They are trending down, but they're not trending to anything really affordable. They are not really affordable, but they're getting slightly cheaper, and probably this will be the dip. This will probably be the lowest that they'll be, because as the final gets set, then international demand will probably start driving some prices. But says that the average get-in cost for the final has dropped 28% over the last week, and by 19% in the last 3 days across resale platforms. But fans, at least according to the latest figures, though, can attend the match for $7,149 per seat, which is down from the recent peak of $12,200. If you want the best seats in the stadium, a single ticket is going to set you back $38,000.
Yeah, I'm looking at SeatGeek right now, and the cheapest, yeah. There's nothing even remotely that is cheap.
So if you can attend, so if the low is say $7,149, would you spend 10% of that to go? Would you spend $700 to go?
No.
Would you spend $71 to go?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd spend 1% of what this apparent price.
Yeah, I mean,
is.
I don't really have any idea how much I would spend to go. For one, it's just I've heard from people that have gone that getting in and out of that stadium in East Rutherford is a nightmare.
And it's
especially
all,
out.
Yeah, it's all train. Well, and that's everybody wants to leave at the same time, even though they arrive at different times. So that has a lot to do with it. But I would presume there's a big tailgate for that too. So it spreads it out even more over a longer period of time. But then you're talking about the money of the World Cup. The prize pool for this year's Cup is $871 million, which is the largest ever. The champion is going to get $50 million, and every team that qualified is guaranteed at least $12.5 million. So it gives you some idea as to what's on the line. I think hosting the Cup, North America hosting the Cup, but primarily being the United States being the kind of the centerpiece of that, that's been very good for the country. Do you think we will see it again? Do you think we'll be given an opportunity to host in a reasonable amount of time another World Cup, which they only do, every 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think I read that they're trying to put in for 2040 because they've got the next two already set. Because it's, I think, Spain, Portugal, Morocco, and then Saudi Arabia is the one after that.
Okay.
But they have rules that you can't, you can't go to the same continent back-to-back years. They've got little rules on that. So, but I think they're apparently putting together a bid for 2040. Now, I don't know if they'll do that close to one another. But, yeah, I mean, it'll happen at some point.
We were at dinner on Monday night, and we were at the Italy Pavilion at Epcot, and I was watching the game we got down pretty quick, so I was paying less attention to it, but it was on my phone at the table. Were you surprised that Balogun, that he was ruled eligible to play? That all transpired after our last show. We thought that he wasn't going to play, but FIFA decided after looking at it that the penalty was excessive. So was that the right call?
I don't know. I mean, FIFA's very corrupt. That's always been kind of a thing with them. And maybe there was some meddling in there as well. But I don't know. I mean, he should have never gotten the red card to begin with.
Correct.
So, yeah. But
yeah, and that didn't change the outcome of that game, except as you very clearly pointed out, they had to play down a man for a really long time. So it was quite an accomplishment. But I don't know that it tainted this last game. It looks like they were gonna lose with or without him. But I guess I was a little bit surprised. It had made me wonder. The optics of it looked awfully bad because it was being played on our home soil, and kind of looked like we were maybe being done a favor. But in the end, a wrong was being righted, and so
And then I think and say what you want about the person who made the phone call, but that there is not a more polarizing figure in the world probably right now. He'd be on the Mount Rushmore, and that doesn't help. I think when you look at it worldwide, and that doesn't matter if you love or hate, you can't deny that it's he's polarizing.
Yeah, without a doubt. The FCC has greenlit a satellite designed to reflect sunlight back to Earth. And when I first saw this, I thought, okay, how are we reflecting sunlight back to Earth? So that the way that it's worded is maybe a little bit odd. But the FCC has approved a demonstration satellite from California to start up Reflect Orbital that uses giant mylar mirrors to redirect sunlight back to Earth. It's named Arendelle 1. The satellite will orbit about 625 kilometers above Earth, deploying an 18 by 18 meter reflective panel. It will beam a moving circle of sunlight about 5 kilometers wide onto targeted locations. I wondered, well, what's this helpful for? Well, it is when you need concentrated solar power somewhere, like on solar arrays or solar panel, you can basically buy it. You can say, hey, we need extra sunlight for today, and they'll be able to use it for post-sunset electricity generation. Future uses could include agriculture, emergency response, and military operations. So if you could have sunshine on your crops for a 24-hour cycle, I wonder how much that would, or for a longer period of time, I wonder how much that would speed up the process of growing crops and all the various uses that could be. We're just going to have 24-hour daylight? Is that how the future's going to be? Yeah, it's going to seem odd. It would seem really odd to see a column of light coming from the sky at night. But I suppose they can do it depending upon how they want to, when we're away from the sun, and they could beam it back to us in some way. I guess that'd be interesting to see how they're going to do that. And then I don't have the video and didn't send it over, but have we all seen the video of the bison at Yellowstone?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Tossing the man? I mean, 8 feet in the air. He got tossed around like a rag doll, and he was doing as you're told to do. They say, stay at least 25 yards away from the bison, and he was taking photos, but then something either spooked or angered the bison, and so he chased him around through the trees for a while, and then just, I heard Speedy say this morning his suspenders held up well. His pants stayed up through the whole process. So I'm like, yeah, well, so count that as a win. And then as the summer starts to wind down and come to a close, a lot of vacations are ending, a lot of summer camps are ending, and I read about a dad who had taken to online to get some feedback, said that he blames a sleepaway camp after discovering that his 10-year-old didn't shower for 2 weeks.
Oh, right.
Oh, I'm sure that smelled great.
I don't think that's all that uncommon. It would be if you don't stay on top of your kids in the summer, they go a bit feral.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd be curious to know what the average toothbrushing is for the average 10-year-old over a 60-day period between, just a random 60-day period. But he said that he was on a parenting subreddit to air his grievances, noting that he blamed the camp for the lack of showers more than his child.
Oh, come on.
And so what he says was that she doesn't have this problem on the regular, like on normal. Says she's a 10-year-old, she likes to be clean, etc. But she admitted that she didn't shower for 2 weeks while she was at camp. And he blames it on the lack of schedule or encouragement from the camp. He has since kind of amended and said he's kind of backed off the camp just a little bit, but he's still a parent trying to figure out what to do about the situation. One person pointed out too, and I think it's very important. When you go to those camps, you're suddenly in communal situations that you are not at home.
Right.
And so depending upon where you are on the modesty scale, and especially if you're in a camp where, say, it's 10 to 12-year-olds and you're on the 10-year-old side, there are going to be differences about you that you might be self-conscious about, etc. And so the easy move is, I'm not going to the shower house, right? I'm not wearing my shower shoes. I'm not going, not going to the public bathhouse. Yeah, that's right. I'll just not shower for 2 weeks. It can only last for so long. Yep. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. 2 truths and a lie, Twin Lakes National Fiddler style. Coming up here on In the Know. Midway Pharmacy is your trusted local partner in health and wellness, offering free delivery so you never have to worry about picking up your medications. The friendly staff knows you by name and is always ready to assist you. Living and raising our families in the same community, they understand your needs. With a wide range of services and personalized care, Midway Pharmacy is here to make your life easier and healthier. Visit or call any countywide location today of Midway Pharmacy.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 or more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. A CGM can immediately reduce pain. It's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Plus, get free shipping, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. Call now to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
Call 800-906-9086. That's 800-906-9086. Again, 800-906-9086. That's 800-906-9086.
Kentucky, Winona is coming home. Winona Judd is taking over the Commonwealth with 3 unforgettable nights. Celebrate Winona's brand new record, The Hard Truth, out October 2nd, and see the Kentucky legend like you've never seen her before. Winona Judd Live, September 30th, the Lexington Opera House. October 1st, the Virginia in downtown Somerset. October 2nd, the Paramount Theater, Ashland. Artist presale starts June 15th. Tickets on sale June 19th. For tickets and all things Winona, visit winona.com.
K105, Weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team, is brought to you by Your Global Getaway. Start planning your adventure now at yourglobalgetaway.com.
Twin Lakes weather. Plenty of sunshine today as we climb into the 80s to near 90 degrees for a high. Isolated showers and thunderstorms are in our forecast this afternoon, mainly across Kentucky. Then we head into tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, highs back into the 80s to near 90 degrees. A little bit warmer for the Midland end of the work week. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
When your baby
Did you know dolphins have names for one another?
I feel like I knew that.
I'd be curious to know, like, what factors they use. They can't all be called Flipper. Well, we know that's the name we use, but what factors? My Smiley, Frowny. They just end up being, or so do they use like dwarf names like we do, or do they use? Well, there's that dolphin's name is Sam. They just have regular given names.
Guess you have to ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're when they talk, it hurts my ears. It's that loud pitch, that they do. It's hard. All right, here we go. 2 truths and a lie. It's the return of 2 truths and a lie. Your chance to win your choice between Holiday World and Kentucky Kingdom tickets today. We are one of the biggest weeks of the year here in our community. The Twin Lakes National Fiddlers Championship is coming up. Fireworks are on Friday. Contest begins on Saturday morning, runs throughout the day. And then Matt Flake and friends in concert on Saturday night after the contest. And so this week we are going to feature 2 truths and a lie about the Twin Lakes National Fiddlers Championship. You think, oh, I know all about it. Well, we'll see. Do you or do you not? Spot the lie. If you or your household have not won in the last 30 days, you qualify to win. You're going to text your answer to 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000. You're going to text A, B, or C, depending upon which you think is the lie. Here's statement A. To ensure the highest level of musical integrity, all 6 fiddling divisions in Litchfield are officially certified by the National Old Time Fiddlers Contest based all the way in Weiser, Idaho. Statement B. The festival's prestigious Grand Champion Trophy is named the Jody Hall Trophy to honor the legendary local musician who originally helped build the foundations of the championship. And statement C, the competition originally started back in the 1920s as a promotional radio broadcast for a radio station, making it the oldest continuous fiddling competition in the state. Which is the lie? A, B, or C? Text your answer to 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. Sam, are you able to spot the lie?
I think so.
Okay, text it in 270-259-6000. Good luck. Weekend box office report. Disney's live-action Moana flopped. It opened to just $43 million domestically, which is one of the studio's lowest remake debuts on record. It took $250 million to make. It earned $52 million internationally, so under $100 million, which was far short of what they thought would be an opening weekend of $140. Minions and Monsters claimed second place with $20.5 million. Toy Story 5 landed in third with its fourth weekend. It does make me wonder, Alea and I were on a bus, on a Disney bus last week, and I saw a poster in the bus that pointed out that the movie was premiering this past weekend. She didn't seem all that interested. And so it made me wonder why. She's seen Moana and she's seen Moana 2. But when it came to the live action version, she just seemed underwhelmed. And I didn't know whether that is a her thing or is a Moana thing.
I don't know. I don't know that myself or the girls get very excited about the live action.
Right. But she still was excited over the idea of Hey Hey in a live action, and she likes Pua.
Yes,
so
that's true.
She likes those characters. But I doubt that all $18.5 million went to Toy Story 5 would have gone to Moana. But it does make you wonder, did they roll Moana out too closely to Toy Story 5 when it's still doing pretty well if it placed third place at the weekend? So are they stealing money from themselves? I don't know the answer to that, but it does kind of make you wonder a little bit. I saw Michael makes history as the first biopic to cross $1 billion at the global box office. I watched it on the flight on our way to vacation. It is outstanding. I couldn't believe, I didn't go in with a huge expectation. I was relying on other people that didn't live through the Michael Jackson era to say, yeah, it's good, etc. And being someone who was smack dab in the middle of the Thriller revolution, I thought, well, I'm going to have to manage my expectations. But I was blown away. I was convinced Jafar Jackson was Michael Jackson by the end. The dancing was top notch. The singing was top notch. So they did a really good job. So if you get a chance to see it, and you like that type of music at all, do it. Taylor Swift.
I heard very mixed reviews.
You had mixed reviews on it? So I haven't heard anything bad.
I heard mixed reviews on it, yeah.
Well, if you can, I think that I would have been extremely scrutinous over it because I knew the genuine article. Well, not personally, but lived through the era. Taylor Swift paid over $160,000 for the New York City permit ahead of the MSG wedding. Mayor Mamdani there confirmed that she paid $160,000 for a permit tied to the wedding at MSG. That did include the cost of security, which was provided by NYPD. So that's some of what she got. But I was seeing some of the other estimates. The numbers coming in somewhere between $20 and $50 million on total all-in cost for the wedding. When it came to $160,000, it just made me wonder. So on one stop of the Eras Tour, what would the merch gross have been at one stop? I was trying to come up with what's the equivalent of how hard would she have to work in order to pay like the whatever amount. So when you say $160,000, what, 30-minute of T-shirt sales for Taylor Swift you might generate $160,000.
I believe it.
But then the surprise was me. I was walking by a TV when it was announced, and I thought it was a gag at first, but they got married by Sandman.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Sandler officiated their wedding ceremony, which
I don't want to talk about it.
I would have never, in a million years, I would have never considered that.
Kelsey was in the movie. Happy Gilmore too.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess I would have never considered that she would have gone they would have gone necessarily the celebrity officiant. I don't know who
how many celebrities were there.
That's true, but I guess they were already paying for him to be there. It's like, hey, can you they were trying to save money on this by getting Sandman to do it. But I don't know, something about that just doesn't seem legit.
It makes me sad.
It does make you sad.
I love him so much.
Did he do his skibbity-doo?
I hope so.
I'd like to actually see his officiantness. Got to get to a break. We'll come back, figure out who wins 2 truths and a lie coming up here on In the Know.
Weddings aren't for the faint of heart. The ceremony may be beautiful, but planning a wedding can ruin a marriage before it even gets started. Endless details and mounting expenses can frustrate and divide a couple. In one national survey, a majority of couples admitted to arguing in some way about their wedding plans. You probably won't be surprised that money topped the list of disagreements, in particular, the cost of the wedding dress and flower arrangements. Mothers-in-law were a common source of disagreement too, as were decisions about seating charts and styles of wedding cakes. And it's not only conflicted couples who are struggling to plan their wedding. Stress can also take its toll on any relationship when a lot of decisions have to be made and a lot of money is involved. If you and your fiancé are up to your eyeballs in planning your wedding, remember 2 things. 1, don't think of this as your wedding. Think of it as our wedding. Your ultimate goal should be for both of you to have a wedding that you love. Second, as memorable as you hope your wedding will be, remember that it's only the first day of your new journey together. Don't get your marriage off to a rocky start by allowing your wedding to become more important than your relationship. If you'll keep the right things in focus, your wedding will catapult you to a lifetime of happiness together. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
When I was feeling the stress of too much credit card debt, I looked at 2 different options: debt settlement and debt management. They may sound the same, but guess what? They're not. Debt settlement seemed like a quick fix, but I found out it would destroy my credit, create tax headaches, and hit me with huge fees. They actually told me to stop paying my bills. No way, not me. Then I turned to a debt management plan developed by the team at Trinity. They worked with my creditors, lowered my payments, reduced my interest, saved me thousands, and paid off my debt. And Trinity is a Christian company, which is important to me.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5348.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-936-5348.
Music plus tradition plus excitement plus family plus fun equals the 15th annual Twin Lakes National Fiddler Championship, with events like the Rod Run, Cruise In, and fireworks at dusk on Friday, and Saturday's antique car, truck, rod, tractor, and bike show. Enjoy free children's activities and the competition starting at 9, with Matt Flake and friends in concert to follow. You don't want to miss this show. See the full schedule at twinlakesfiddler.com. The fiddling capital of Kentucky comes to life this weekend.
MB's point to ponder for today.
I won't cry.
Did the guy who invented the umbrella intend to just name it the Brella, but then he hesitated? And he thought,
I hope so.
Umbrella. I like it better if it's just umbrella. Saves a syllable. We know what it is. Brella.
I mean, in England, or bumbershoot.
I'm sorry?
They'll call it a bumbershoot.
A bumbershoot. That, for some reason, doesn't sound like an umbrella to me.
Well,
Bumbershoot.
so is it a bumper and then because it shoots up, right? A bumper shoot. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I'd be
don't
curious
know.
to know
That's
how it
kinda
got
fun.
its name. Can I just call it a parasol? But it's not necessarily a parasol. An umbrella and parasol aren't exactly the same
No,
thing,
they are not.
although they can do similar things for you. Two truths and a lie today. It was A, B, or C related to the roots of the Twin Lakes National Fiddler Championship. Now, since it's reformat, I think this is the 15th year, will be. But we have a long history with fiddling and Fiddlers Championship, for a long time. The Old Time Fiddlers Championship was at Rough River Dam State Resort Park, and then kind of fell on hard times. And anyway, just kind of got reformatted for Litchfield, and now that's been a decade and a half ago that all that happened. But the certification by the Old Time Fiddlers Contest based out in Weiser, Idaho, is true. The Grand Champion Trophy, named the Jody Hall Trophy. Jody and Leo Mudd really at the nucleus of that contest and its longevity. That's true. The lie is that it was a promotional stunt by the radio station, making it the longest continuous fiddling competition in the state. That is the lie. So if you said C, you knew that was the lie. Sam, I know we didn't fool a lot of people, but
You fooled. I mean, it was kind of spread around. Looks
it
like
was spread
5.
around? Okay, 5. Let's go with number 2. Number 2.
0919.
0919. Congratulations. On television tonight, the Major League Baseball Home Run Derby is on. I presume it's on ESPN. I'll get to that page momentarily.
Fuck. Is it? Maybe I don't know that it is.
You know what? It's on Netflix.
That's right. Yeah.
I guess that means the All-Star Game is on Netflix as well.
No.
It's not.
That's on Fox. I'm almost positive on that.
So I am really happy, though, that Major League Baseball made the decision to have the All-Star Game in Philadelphia. I just think here in our 250th birthday, where the Declaration of Independence was written and read, and the birthplace of our nation, I just think that it's poetic that it is there. Battle on the Beach, HGTV is tonight. Dancing with the Stars, the next Pro Series premiere, is on ABC tonight. Today's highlight in history: this date in 1985, the Live Aid benefit rock concerts were held simultaneously in London and Philadelphia, raising millions for famine relief in Ethiopia. If you are a Gen Xer and you've not seen the documentary on Bob Geldof and creating Live Aid, how all that, the genesis of it, how it was executed, how it nearly wasn't pulled off, etc. It's a very interesting story to look back at after we lived through it in 1985. The first FIFA World Cup began in Uruguay in 1930. Is it Uruguay or Uruguay? I don't suppose it matters that much. Birthdays today. Game show announcer Johnny Gilbert is 98 today, still working on Jeopardy. Patrick Stewart is 86. Harrison Ford is 84. Rubik's Cube inventor Erno Rubik is 82. Cheech Marin is 80. Louise Mandrell is 72. Ken Jeong is 57 today. Leslie Chow in the Hangover movies. And Leon Bridges, the soul singer, is 37 today. Gone but not forgotten, Julius Caesar. Our month is named July because of Caesar, who was born in this date in 100 BC. Father Flanagan, born in 1886. Dave Garroway in 1913. Bob Crane in 1928. Frank Ramsey, famous Kentuckian from 1931. He's a Kentucky colonel, played for the Celtics, played in 7 NBA championships. Jack Kemp, who was a former NFL quarterback, but also a vice presidential candidate with Bob Dole, was born in this state in 1935. Let's find chart toppers for today. We're not going to have a whole lot of time left. Let's jump all the way to 1975 and the Captain and Tennille. Sam, are you sad that I had to trim off the 40s and 50s?
No, heartbroken.
I know you usually like those. Like Maresy Dotes and Dozy Dotes and Little Lambsy Ivy seems to be like one of your favorites. 1984, Prince is number one.
Better than some of that country crap you play sometimes. I will say that.
When Doves Cry from the Purple Rain album. All right, let's jump to 1993.
Oh my goodness gracious.
UB40. All right, let's go to 2002. One of Eminem's few actual number one hits because there was so much of it that couldn't be played. And that one's not necessarily playable on the radio. And 2011, Pitbull, Neo, Give Me Everything. 15 years ago today. All right, MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG, Litchfield, the